This video was brought to you by Patreon. Support my activism and gain early access to all my videos for only $1 a month. Welcome to the third installment of my rebuttal of the February JW broadcasting. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen the previous parts yet, I invite you to do so. They're a wild ride. Today, you're gonna enjoy watching a 50-year-old virgin tell you how to raise your children. Yeah, no joke. The organization is running out of young men to exploit. So there are some changes which are meant to fix that little problem. You know what to do with every XJW video. Hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep sending our love to the governing body.
Now, on another positive note, let's listen as our brother Mark Sanderson speaks to us on the subject, Share It with the Generation to Come. Mark, please.
In Matthew 13, verse 52, Jesus said that every public instructor was like a man with a treasure store filled with truths old and new. Well, we know that's true. And if it's true, it means that this audience are among the most rich people in the entire world. You have a large treasure store of truths, both old and new.
Yeah, thanks Sandy, but I'd rather have a treasure store of actual wealth than a treasure cove of Watchtower truths, which could expire and become old light at any moment. It's kind of insulting, isn't it? Calling his audience the richest people in the world when most of them are probably barely scraping by after dedicating their lives to the cult.
Well, brothers and sisters, especially those of you who have so much wisdom and experience, do you feel that responsibility to share what you have with the generation to come? Well, if we get the sense of Deuteronomy 29:29 and Psalm 78, well, then we will do this. We will share what we have with the next generation. But how do we do it? Well, of course, this process begins with all of our parents. And by their following the command in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 6 and 7, to teach their children as they sit in the house, as they walk on the road, when they lie down and when they get up.
Indoctrinating children right out of the womb. I mean, the best way to brainwash a human being is when they're young, right? Must I remind you again? This dude does not have any children of his own. Why didn't they pick Tony Morris for this talk? He's the only governing body member that was a family man.
But the process does not end with the Christian parents. We also have a responsibility to teach and train young adults so that they can take on responsibility in Jehovah's congregation. Paul said, "And the things you heard from me that were supported by many witnesses, these things entrust to faithful men who in turn will be adequately qualified to teach others." So that training would go on to future brothers and future generations of servants of Jehovah. Paul invested training in a very young man, and it paid off.
Ugh, it all sounds very corporate. Paul invested training in Timothy and it paid off in dividends. Even when talking about the Bible, these men can't help but speak in terms of numbers and output.
In our modern day, I think of Brother Nathan Knorr as an outstanding trainer. When he became the president of the Watchtower Society in January of 1942, he was only 36 years old. Now, he could have thought, I'm so young. I have many, many years ahead of me to be able to care for matters. And so there really isn't any need to train others. But Brother Knorr did not have that disposition. He was a trainer even at that young age. He assigned Brother Milton Henschel, who was in his mid-20s, to be his secretary. Brother Knorr took Brother Henschel with him on his travels all over the world to branches and missionary homes to strengthen the brothers. He had him right by his side at major conventions, not just telling him, but showing him how to take the lead. And Brother Henschel absorbed that training. By 1947, he was a member of the board of directors of the Watchtower Society, only 27 years old, and he went on to serve as a member of the governing body. Brother Knorr trained other young brothers like Don Adams. This photo that we're about to show was taken at a gathering on Brother Adams' 70th anniversary in full-time service. Now here you see a group of young men that Brother Knorr had trained: Robert Wallen, Charles Mollahan, David Sinclair, and Don Adams. All of these men were identified when they were very young, and they worked together for more than 50 years faithfully. Jehovah helped Brother Knorr to choose very well. But it didn't end there. Brother Knorr also appointed well-qualified young brothers who were Gilead graduates to assignments with great responsibility. For example, Brother Kenneth Little was assigned to be the branch servant in Canada when he was 34 years old. Brother Denton Hopkinson was assigned as the branch servant in the Philippines when he was 33 years old. And Brother Richard Kelsey was assigned as the branch servant in Germany when he was 38. Those last three brothers are all still serving on the branch committees in their respective lands and are all members of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania, who are tied in today for this meeting. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, and all of these men should have been in paradise like 5 decades ago, instead of growing old and dying. I will summarize this section for you, Sandy. 4 young men were groomed by a cult leader. They were promised their generation would not pass away before Armageddon. Instead, they've seen their friends die off, one by one, and they've seen your buddies Blaine completely trash their long-held doctrine. Now they get to smile for your photographs because what else are they gonna do? Cry because they dedicated their whole lives to a lie? That's too painful.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Isn't that wonderful?
No, it's not, you donut.
But there's a lesson here, brothers. There's a lesson for elders, for circuit overseers, for branch committee members, really for all mature brothers in the congregation. We must actively be training and teaching the next generation of ministerial servants, the next generation of elders, the next generation of circuit overseers. And we must take this responsibility seriously, because the truth belongs not just to us, it also belongs to our sons, to our descendants. We must pass on the truth, the wisdom, the experience that we have in our treasure store to these next Joshuas, these next Timothys that Jehovah will raise up. But now that's the role of the trainers. What is the role of you younger brothers who are listening to this program? Well, it's your responsibility to work hard to meet the scriptural qualifications for ministerial servants and later for elders. Seek out training. Ask for advice. Ask for counsel. Be eager to learn from older brothers who are rich in wisdom and experience. Now, to help you grow, those brothers may give you some counsel. They may even correct you from time to time. Will you love them for doing that? Like Jacob, who wrestled with an angel to receive a blessing, you too may have to wrestle. You may have to struggle at times to get that blessing, to reach that goal. But if you work hard, and if you look to Jehovah for his help, you will grow spiritually. You will draw close to him, and who knows what responsibilities may come to you.
Sorry, but becoming the forefather of the nation of Israel sounds like a much cooler blessing than becoming an unpaid Pharisee in one of your congregations. Except to receive their blessing, young men don't have to wrestle an angel. They just have to kiss a lot of ass.
What is the governing body doing to support efforts to train young brothers? Well, in January of this year, the governing body requested all bodies of elders worldwide to give priority to helping younger brothers grow in their relationship with Jehovah and to qualify for congregation responsibilities. Elders and circuit overseers were reminded that young brothers who apply themselves may qualify as ministerial servants in their late teens, and that an exceptional ministerial servant who has gained experience in shepherding and teaching could serve as an elder in his early 20s.
Damn, that's a low bar. Early 20s to become an elder? Are we competing with the Mormons now? Imagine a 21-year-old elder who's never had any pussy trying to counsel a couple who has been married for decades. What the hell is this kid supposed to say? Oh yeah, I've never held a girl's hand, but let me give you marriage advice. An elder is supposed to be an experienced brother, at least in his 30s, who knows how to handle the scriptures well. I mean, at least that's the image of elders I had while growing up. Assigning a person in their early 20s to such a powerful position would just turn them into megalomaniacs. Let me remind you that elders exert a huge influence over the congregation, and they have the power to disfellowship people and break families apart. Mark is instituting reforms that may backfire. It's gonna take decades to see the results of this. Also, it just shows how desperate they are in keeping young people in. They're losing their young ones in droves.
Now here's another arrangement that we have not publicly announced before, but we will today. Circuit overseers have also been informed that they may invite qualified young brothers between the ages of 21 and 23 to apply to attend the School for Kingdom Evangelizers. Please don't all call your circuit overseer at once.
Look at his proud, smug face. He's probably thinking of the Vegas-style buffet he's having for dinner.
But the efforts do not end there. Jehovah willing, in January 2023, the School for Kingdom Evangelizers will again begin functioning in person worldwide. And as we resume in-person regional conventions, just imagine the joy that we'll have in seeing younger brothers get up and give their first talk at a regional convention. Won't that be wonderful? Are you looking forward to it? But the governing body has another new initiative. Governing body members will now have the possibility to take a younger brother along with them when they make shepherding visits. These arrangements will allow many brothers to receive additional directly from governing body members and helpers.
Oh, how exciting! Imagine going to a shepherding talk with Tony Morris or Stephen Lett. I would definitely surrender my life for that experience, wouldn't you?
Dear brothers, please, let us work hard to share the wonderful truths, the experience, the wisdom that we have gained with the generation to come.
We can expect Watchtower will continue to ramp up their efforts to groom young men into becoming elders and ministerial servants, in an attempt to shower them with authority and keep them from leaving. The new generations are simply not interested in this religion. They're walking away. Why work your ass off for free and put more stress in your life when you could go to college and start building a better life for yourself? Come on, Mark. At least offer some complimentary donuts to go along with the elder position, you desperate slob. So, what did you think of Mark Sanderson's new talk? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to thank my beautiful Patreons for your support. These videos take a lot of time to make, so if you would like to leave a donation, follow the links in the description below. And stick around for the next part of the rebuttal, where we have David Splain and Stephen Lett deliver some loony talks of their own. Thank you guys for watching, take it easy, and stay away from the tower.
Bah. Goodbye, little sheep.